There comes a moment in your life when someone will look at you with eyes full of doubt, when they will belittle your efforts, mock your passion, laugh at your dreams, and question your worth. But that's not your cue to speak. That's your moment to stay quiet. Because silence, my friend, is not weakness. It is power. You don't need to fight for your value. You don't need to convince anyone of your strength. You're not in a courtroom to defend yourself. You're not in a circus to entertain critics. You're in your journey. And not everyone is qualified to understand it. So when they disrespect you, don't scream, don't cry, don't explain. Just breathe and let your silence speak volumes. There's strength in restraint. There's dignity in composure. There's victory in not reacting. Let them think you're quiet because you're broken. Let them assume you're speechless because you've lost. And then, watch how time proves them wrong. Watch how your actions echo louder than their words. Watch how silence becomes your armor. And your results, your revenge. We live in a world that confuses loudness with confidence. But confidence doesn't need a mic. It walks in silently and changes the room. It doesn't chase attention, it attracts it. You don't rise by shouting, you rise by showing. And that rise, believe me, begins the day you stop arguing and start evolving. Quietly. I've been disrespected too, by people who thought they were better, by those who couldn't see the fire in me. But I didn't waste my energy proving them wrong. I invested that energy in becoming someone undeniable. So let them call you too quiet. Let them call you too soft. Let them call you too weak. Because one day, they'll have to call you unstoppable. And that day will come. When you stay quiet, you teach people they don't control your emotions. You teach them your peace is non-negotiable. You show them that your silence is not surrender. It's strategy. Not every battle deserves your sword. Some deserve your silence. Some deserve your back turned. Some deserve your distance. That is how you protect your energy. When people disrespect you, that's not about you. That's a reflection of their own fear, their insecurity, their inability to see greatness without feeling threatened. Don't shrink for them. Don't explain yourself to them. Don't match their noise with more noise. Match it with purpose. Match it with discipline. A loud mouth is not brave. A quiet heart is. Silence is powerful when it's intentional. When you know you can speak, but choose not to. That's control, that's self-respect, and that's where true transformation begins. Not in defending yourself to fools, but in focusing on building your empire. They will say that you changed. Yes, you did. You stopped responding to low vibrations. You stopped giving second chances to habitual offenders. You stopped being accessible to people who didn't value you. You started protecting your peace. And sometimes that protection looks like silence. It looks like not texting back. It looks like not proving anything. It looks like moving on quietly. The world will test you. It will push your buttons. It will challenge your worth. But your response is your power. Learn to say nothing. And let your progress scream. Learn to stay calm. And let your growth roar. Learn to walk away. And let your success echo behind you. Respect is not demanded. It is commanded through presence, through grace, through unshakable confidence. Be the one who doesn't react. Be the one who doesn't flinch. Be the one who rises without noise. That's real class. That's real courage. That's real power. Not everything deserves a reply. Not every insult deserves a reaction. Some people expect you to retaliate. Don't give them that satisfaction. Give them silence. Give them distance. Give them nothing. Because they earned none of you. And your silence, that's the closure they never saw coming. I've learned that peace is a form of power, and silence a weapon of the wise. You don't have to play every game. You don't have to answer every call. You don't have to show up to every fight. Sometimes the most powerful move is to walk away in silence, with grace, and never look back. Your silence makes them wonder. Your silence makes them reflect. Your silence makes them uncomfortable. And sometimes they need that. They need the emptiness of your absence to realize the value of your presence. So don't rush to reply. Don't beg to be heard. Let them sit with your silence, and let that silence teach them. You were not born to be loud to be seen. You were born to shine quietly, to conquer without chaos, to win without war. You are the storm behind the calm. You are the power behind the stillness. You are the voice behind the silence. So when they disrespect you, smile and rise in silence. There is elegance in silence. There is power in walking away. When someone disrespects you, don't react to make a scene. Respond with your silence. Let it echo louder than your voice ever could. Because not everything deserves your energy. And certainly not your peace. We all crave to be heard, to defend ourselves, to scream, "That's not who I am." But true strength is when you don't. When you sit back, breathe deep, and allow your silence to speak for you. I've been there. Humiliated, questioned, misjudged, and I could have screamed. I could have shattered the room, but instead I stayed quiet. And that silence protected me. It gave me room to rise. When you stay quiet, you leave people to wrestle with their own behavior. You leave them wondering what you're thinking. And that space, that silence, it teaches more than any angry word ever could. Because silence carries dignity, and dignity always wins. You're not here to convince them. You're here to become undeniable. So don't try to explain your light to those blinded by their own darkness. Don't pour into people who only drain you. Don't argue with minds made up. Protect your glow. Every time they disrespected you, they expected you to crumble. They expected rage, desperation, a breakdown. Instead, you gave them silence. And silence is the most deafening rejection. It says, "You no longer matter," without saying a word. You don't need a spotlight. You don't need a microphone. You just need focus. And your focus should never be on revenge. Your focus should be on growth, on healing, on building a version of yourself that makes their disrespect irrelevant. Let them gossip. Let them lie. Let them mock. You're too busy becoming the woman they never saw coming. The woman they can't reach anymore. The woman they regret losing. Some people don't deserve a reaction. They deserve your absence. They deserve your silence. They deserve to feel what it's like to lose access to someone they took for granted. And that loss, it teaches better than your words ever could. When you respond with silence, you reclaim your power. You say, "You don't own my peace. You don't get to control my state. You don't define who I am." That's strength. That's liberation. That's growth. This world will throw disrespect your way. It'll challenge your identity. But don't stoop to their level. Don't give them a front row seat to your pain. Instead, rise like royalty, quiet, calm, composed. Because silence is your crown, and grace is your throne. Be the woman who doesn't beg to be understood. Be the woman who simply moves forward, who says nothing, but becomes everything, who never fights for space, because she knows she creates it with her energy, with her presence, with her silence. You don't owe anyone an explanation. You owe yourself protection. You owe yourself peace. And sometimes that means not texting back, not clapping back, not proving your side, just walking away, quietly. They will try to provoke you. They'll push your buttons. But you are no longer that version of you. You don't react. You reflect, you redirect, and you rise. Stay quiet. Because your silence confuses them. It leaves them with nothing to fight against. And in that space of confusion, they meet themselves. And sometimes, that's the most powerful lesson of all. You are not here to fight every battle. You are here to choose the ones that matter. And most of the time, the real battles are won in silence. Not with noise, not with rage, but with patience and grace. Be so confident in who you are that no insult moves you, no lie disturbs you, no betrayal breaks you. That's power, that's womanhood, that's self-respect. Silence doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care more about your growth than about someone's opinion. It means you've leveled up. It means you've healed. And healing is quiet, sacred, personal. And people won't always apologize. They won't always admit their mistakes. And that's okay. You don't need closure. You need clarity. And clarity comes when you let go, silently. Let your work speak. Let your glow speak. Let your journey speak. And most of all, let your silence speak for your strength. Be okay with not being liked. Be okay with being misunderstood. Be okay with being quiet, because your energy is too valuable to be spent proving yourself to people who don't even listen. Protect your peace like your life depends on it, because it does. And peace often begins with saying nothing. This isn't weakness. This is wisdom. You've outgrown the need to be loud. You've outgrown the need to be right. You're evolving, you're focused, you're unstoppable. You don't respond to chaos, you respond to purpose. And purpose requires silence. So let them talk. Let them twist the story. Let them wait for a reaction. Give them none.